Good morning. Yeah.
Welcome to the farm, to the Weymiller farm. We're happy to have you. Come in and have some pie and coffee.
I'm Franklin Allison Weymiller. Most people know me by Doc. And of course, everybody, where'd you get your nickname? Well, my brother was 3 years old when I was born, and he wanted to know where I came from, and my parents told him, well, the doctor brought me. And as far as I know, I've been Doc ever since.
My name is Jean Ann Cooper Weymiller, and I'm married to Franklin Allison Weymiller, and we have 6 children, and 19 grandchildren, and 26 great-grandchildren. We met in New Albert, Iowa, Dreamland Ballroom. I went with Jim McGrew, and what year? 1951. 1951. And he cut in.
At the dance.
At the dance. And that was kind of history. And then he likes to tell the story.
Yeah, that was December 7th, the first time I took her home. And December 21st, I gave her a ring. And December 27th, we got married.
So we were married in 1953, and I was 21 and he was 19.
One of my fondest memories of New Albin was I got to go along with when I was about 10 years old. We'd chase the fat cattle, chase them into New Albin, right down Main Street, New Albin, to the stockyards. And then the next morning, we would load them on the train and go to Chicago. The little town of New Albin at that time was the biggest. They sent more carloads of cattle to Chicago than any other town in Iowa. If you sent cattle to Chicago, you got a free ride on the train home. And my dad would hire a cab, and we'd go to Wrigley Field, and I've been a Cub fan ever since.
When we moved here, we had 4 children, and we had the 4 children in 5 years. And so my time was busy taking care of the children, and he told me that the house and the yard was mine, and he took care of the farm. And that lasted for quite a while. The house was in disrepair. It did have lights and water and a kitchen that they had added on. But upstairs, the plaster was falling off the walls, and the wallpaper was hanging in the stairway going down. And he said, "Don't touch that wallpaper. We don't have any money." So it stayed that way a while until finally I did pull it all down.
Well, backing up a little bit, but Cass had a housekeeper, and they had a sale. I couldn't see what they were going to sell because there was no machinery or anything. He was an older man. He had rented out the farm for 15 years. Actually, it was for sale, but everybody thought it was too high priced. It was the highest priced farm sold in Albuquerque County at the time. But
we knew it was worth it because of the soil.
Yeah.
When we moved here, the water came off, the rainwater came off the roof and into the cistern, and that's what we drank until that's what the Casses had used all their life, I guess.
The water off of the roof, which he said, I got a filter. Well, somebody had made a little square box about that tall, and just the water going through those rocks was his purification.
It was supposed to be, anyway, in the spring it had an odor, so that's when
Well, all the birds were up in the roof, pooping on the roof, but it was going. And one of the main things is, whatever you do, don't change the water. I got my original teeth, he said.
But we did.
And we took about one drink of that. We were ready to, like she said, as soon as summer came and warmed up, We moved here the 1st of March. And this is one of the first pictures we got of the farm. This was the first building we built. It's somewhere in the late 60s. We built with a handicap bathroom and told the kids we didn't want to go no home. They'd have to come take care of us. And there's baby pictures of the 6 kids. These are some of the records of every year that we farmed. We belong to Farm Business Association, and so I can go back and tell you what the price of corn was ever since 1961 at least. This is the first one that I shot that was worth mounting. And then I don't know how many years later I shot that one. Just below Steve's house up here in the ridge. We weren't even in the big woods. And that one measured at the time 21 inches between. When we built it, it was kind of multi-purpose. It was a cattle shed, but we also used it to store dried corn, and we had pigs in there. We had separate pens for the kids to have 4-H calves. My great-grandson just made that in shop class and walk on.
Drew Sullivan, Weymiller.
I think these hog buildings hold about 1,500 hogs in each one.
This is the boss now, so.
The next place we're going is a newer version where instead of 2 buildings, it's 1, but they hold the same number of hogs. This is our son, Steve. You want to say hi?
Sure.
You're on camera.
On tour. Hey girls, how are ya? Huh? Ready for breakfast? Yeah, these are replacement heifers that will get bred this summer and become part of the cow herd next year. Feeding them, hand feeding them every day. We try to quiet them down, get used to you. So when they become mamas with a baby calf, a lot easier to deal with new calves when the cow is quiet. Some of them don't like to interact with humans much, but some of them are just like pets. We usually get somewhere in the 14, 15, 16 years of calves out of them, so they'll be around the farm for a while. Well, Dad's been doing it since he got here in 1961. And this will be my 46th year in the operation. So, yep, he's still going strong. The cow herd, I think, is his favorite part of the farm. I know he's going to take you on a tour today of the pasture farm with the cows and calves, and he'll be taking mineral down. He keeps the salt mineral in front of him down there, and I think they've really enjoyed the life on the farm. Dad'll still runs the combine for us in the fall. So I know he'll be itching for the crop to get maturity and get ready for harvest late September, early October again. So I think it's all our favorite time of year on the farm is when the fall harvest comes around. After you've gone through the spring of putting the crop in and the cost of the inputs and watching it grow all summer and finally reap the rewards. Always hoping and praying for plenty of rain and sunshine and a good harvest. Are you going down to the other hog barn with the
Yep.
flag?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. Steve is in the process of retiring now too. He's 68. Eric is kind of the boss now. He's our grandson.
43 probably.
You can see all our farms that are up here, except the pasture, the Sandville farm, the home farm, and that one over there is where Steve lives, our son. We did, as you can tell, most of our land is terraced. We were one of the first ones that did any terracing around here. But now they've changed some of the rules. Plus, as you can see, it's all no-till. They don't, no plow, no disc, and nothing. With the newer corn planters, they can go right in. It makes a little furrow where they can plant the corn, and that's all that's worked up. So you don't, if you use no-till, you don't even need terraces anymore because of the soil. There's no soil loss. Things really changed, but when we built all those terraces, I don't know how many miles we had at first, but now they don't do that anymore. They leave wider buffer strips and make hay off of it. And of course the no-till is the biggest reason. Well, we're what we call the Village Creek Farm. We're in Lafayette Township, and this farm, there's about 700 acres here. I bought about 500 originally, and then Steve bought it, or when we were farming together, we bought another 200 up on the top of the hill. When the cows are down here, I come down here about every other day, check on them. Well, we're going to drive up. I don't know. I hope the cows or some of them are down here. They might all be up on top of the hill, but we'll drive up. It's 2 miles from one end to the other, but I can drive the pickup most of the way. So. When we first fenced these 15 acres, there was no spring here. But that one year we had a lot of rain, and it opened up another spring here.
Well, we're vaccinating the calves and we're putting stuff in the back of the cows to get some fly protection for Doc, how many days is that fly supposed to work?
Probably a few weeks.
Oh, she's got an ear tag. We used to brand them all, and now lately we've just been putting a tag in each ear with their number. And then when the calf is born, we
504.
put a,
Okay.
put a
504,
tag in the calf's ear that corresponds with the cow.
504,
504.
07.
Like I said earlier, the best crop we raised was 6 kids. And they're all God-fearing kids.
And to God be the glory. Great things He has done. He gave us His only Son. Bye.
Bye.
Till we meet again. We love you. Bye.
Fun.